what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today's YouTube video, as you guys already saw by the title, I'm going to be showing you guys a whole week of price action and my thought process and how I got a payout in a week. And it wasn't just one winning day and 4 winning days. Every single trade I'm going to be showing you guys here is a big winner, and there's a lot of logic and narrative behind the trades. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and show you the week that got me a really nice payout. So I'm going to be talking about ICT concepts, PO3, power of three, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. If you guys don't know what those concepts are, there's a bunch of YouTube videos like free. Yeah, so if I start just saying words that you've never heard before and you're just too confused, I do apologize. This video is going to be more for, I would say just the intermediate to advanced traders. So, but yeah, I mean, if you're a new trader and you just want to stick around, by all means do that as well. But let's just get into it. So going in, I started a new Lucid account on Friday, July 31st. So the last day of the month in July, I opened a new Lucid account. Okay. And let's just go over the day on Friday. So what I'm loading in, I always like to go on the 15-minute. And I see we have some accumulation, which is highlighted in yellow. There has to be some sort of manipulation after that. So we manipulate. That's this move right here, the white candles, and this little blue half circle right here is your manipulation. And what do I do after I identify the manipulation? I mark it out on a standard deviation tool. Now, there is a few different ways people like to mark out their standard deviation. The way that suits me the best, I like to do the last consecutive candles that put in that manipulation. So right here, how I marked it out is on a 3-minute time frame. It's these it looks like five white candles that put in that high before distributing lower. So I marked out high to low. I know it's a good standard deviation because when we got to the 1 right here, we got a little reaction, and then the 2 to the 2.25. Look at the 2.25 highlighted in yellow. That's the absolute bottom of this move we reject off of. So I know it's a good standard deviation level. And after the distribution played out, I'm looking for a pullback, some sort of retrace, because we dumped really, really heavy, and it's a Friday. I really don't expect us to just keep dumping for the rest of the day. I'm expecting either us to pull back to put in that wick, or I'm expecting just a retrace back at least to equilibrium of the range. So let's first trade Friday. We pull back into OTE, which is the 0.79 of this range. And then from this range, I just take a continuation model on the lower time frame, okay? And we hit this for about 1 to AR 280 points. So that was a really, really good start to the first day of the funded account. Let's go to the second day. All right, so after I lost Monday, Tuesday is our second winning day. Let's just get straight into it. What I viewed Tuesday as was a continuation long day because it's a new week. It's a new month, actually. So for the new month, what we started out, we manipulated into a new week opening gap, which is right here, and we completely filled it, distributed away from the new week opening gap. So what am I going to do? I'm going to mark out the whole manipulation that manipulated into the gap, and I'm going to align that with PD arrays. So I identify my manipulation, and I go to the higher time frame, the 4-hour time frame, and I align what the 2 to the 2.5 are tapping into. So what do we see the 2.25 aligns with? We have an unfilled 4-hour gap right here. We could draw out. Look at that. Aligns to the 2.25 to the tick. Okay. So already going into the day, I have a really strong drawn liquidity that now I just need to align it long towards the 2.25. So let me go ahead and show you guys in a lower time frame. Alrighty, so the market opens here and absolutely rallies here on the 5-minute. There is S&T at the lows. Didn't catch any longs to there, but that yellow line is my 4-hour unfilled gap that aligns with the 2.25 standard deviation. So once I saw that, I view this gap right here as a breakaway gap. I don't expect us to retrace this low to go higher. I think we're just going to keep stair stepping higher and higher. So I'm just going to take a continuation long. I identify this on super small but 5-minute fair value gap. And then from there, I scale down into the 1-minute and I align myself with a long right here. Once I realized that we tapped into the 5-minute gap, we put in SMT, we got a resweep, and I'm on the 30-second or the 15-second looking for either a CISD, nice displacement, basically an entry trigger confirming that that 5-minute gap and the SMT is going to hold. and then boom, 1 to 4 RR, 113 points. Bam. Okay. So we won Friday. We took a L Monday, and then another big win on Tuesday. So we're currently crushing it on the new Lucid account. Let's go to Wednesday, which is the best day of the week. Now, really quickly, when you do have standard deviation on a higher time frame manipulation zone like this, right, on the 15-minute, this was the manipulation that manipulated into the new week opening gap, right? And we used the 2.25 as a drawn liquidity yesterday. I could still keep the standard deviation because it is valid, okay? And look at this, okay? So 15-minute time frame, we have easy accumulation that we could spot highlighted in the yellow here. And look at this. What does the 3.5 align with? Well, let's go to the daily time frame, or you know what? Let's go to the 4-hour time frame, and I could see that the 3.5 standard deviation aligns with this high. Okay, so we sweep this high on the 15-minute time frame here. Let me zoom in. That's the manipulation. Okay, so this right here is the manipulation sweeping that high, and it also aligns with the 3.5. I'm going to be looking for shorts. Okay, it's a Wednesday, the new month, the new week opened. Monday rips higher, Tuesday continues higher, Wednesday sweeps our first high time frame draw on liquidity. Okay, buy side liquidity is getting swept. So I'm anticipating Wednesday to be high of the week. So boom, I identified my manipulation. Okay, I'll highlight it again. This was the manipulation higher. So I draw my standard deviation from the high to the low. And whatever the 2 to the 2.25 is going to be where I want the market to go. Okay, so as you guys could see, we end up bouncing off the 2 right at market close, which is a valid standard deviation. But let's just go into the lower time frame so I could show you the actual entry we took to catch a 1 to 12. It was 400 plus points, which is one of my best trades ever. So we break down, okay, after sweeping the buy side, I draw out the high to the low for OTE of this range because we are distributing now. And as you can see, we come into the 0.79, get a reaction, and we have SMT and OTE. I just trusted that this whole OTE range was going to hold. So I entered there, market entered there, stops at the high here. It's a 10 a.m. open, and 10 a.m. just sends us lower, and the rest of the day dumps until market close. So I held this from basically 10 a.m. open to market close. Bounce off that 2 standard deviation perfectly. Let me mark it out for you guys right here. Bam. So that's Wednesday. Okay, so we're absolutely killing it. We got 2 more days for the 5 winning days to request a payout. So now let's go into Thursday. Thursday, in my opinion, was probably the easiest day of the week. Let's just get into it real quick. Remember what I said earlier in this video, if we have a valid standard deviation that is working, we could still use it for a drawn liquidity, right? So going into the day, I mark out my accumulation on the 15-minute here. And then what do we manipulate to? A lot of people were confused on what we manipulated to on this day. There wasn't really any clean unfilled high time frame imbalances or anything. But like I said, that negative 3.5 standard deviation, boom, taps it, get a crazy wick. So that's our manipulation. And look what we left behind. Okay, I love days like this when it's just so clear AMD. We have a bunch of low resistance liquidity above. So obviously I'm going to target longs as basically kind of like a retrace, right? I know Wednesday is my high of week, but that doesn't mean I have to short, right? If I see a clean AMD model, I'm going to take it. So on this day, let's go to the 1 minute really quick. And this day, we actually just took a continuation out of this premium gap, okay? So we have the boom. I missed my fill down here. I waited for a more high probability continuation long, and we longed for 5R, 200 points, right? To the high right here. So we're catching. Everything is at least 4R. We're cooking. So now let's go to Friday and get this last winning day. Alrighty, so Friday, right here where my mouse cursor is, you guys could see we have an unfilled 4-hour gap that we, in my opinion, are retracing to go lower. So once we retrace to this unfilled 4-hour gap pre-market, I'm anticipating that it holds because remember, Wednesday's high of week. So I don't think we're gonna, inverse this 4-hour. I'm guessing that this 4-hour is gonna hold, and I could target shorts out of the 4-hour gap. Okay. So what do I do now? We have the accumulation right here. Let's mark it out. this is the manipulation to the 4-hour gap, and I want shorts out of it lower. Okay. So let's go to the 1 minute. A little bit choppy here. I took a little loss in here, but the win that actually clutched up the day was really, really clean. We manipulated this high, gave us a resweep. Okay. And then after that resweep, I took a continuation, stops at this high right here. We have your low hanging, low resistance liquidity right here. And then what I needed to actual meet the consistency and get the payout was these lows down here for around a 5R again. And then, yeah, so I'm basically identifying the manipulation and I'm trading the distribution. And I'm also, trading off of SMTs and protected highs. And yeah, targeting whatever my standard deviation aligns with. Yeah, that was a nice little breakdown. Sorry if it was a little confusing throughout some parts, but I hope it wasn't too confusing, and I hope you guys understood how I was able to secure a payout in a week. And yeah, hopefully we could keep killing it the rest of August. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I'm live on TikTok 5 days out of the week every morning, so tap in. Link will be in the description. Follow me on all socials, and yeah, guys. Peace out.